I'm Dave Froehlich. Thanks for watching this Crime Watch digital exclusive. We're taking a look back at some recent crime stories from our Crime Watch reporter Meredith Aldis, as well as some others that are making headlines around Texas. The 4 men accused of the 1991 yogurt shop murders have been formally cleared. Comes after new evidence identified Robert Brashers as the real killer. Here's more from Meredith Aldis.
But the court can and does state without qualification or hesitation that you are cleared and that your innocence is affirmed.
With those words, Travis County Judge Dana Blasey officially erasing decades of suspicion in one of Austin's most haunting cases, the 1991 yogurt shop murders. Michael Scott in court, now in his 50s.
Every day I have carried the weight of a crime I did not commit. No court ruling can return the years and the love that were taken from me, but it can acknowledge the truth. I am not guilty.
Forrest Wellborn, who was 15 at the time of the murders, also in court, his attorney reading his statement for him.
I have always maintained my innocence. I have never claimed or stated that I was involved in the murders in any way, because I wasn't.
And through a letter, Robert Springsteen described living for decades with a label.
I have lived every single day since October the 6th, 1999, being seen as a monster for something I did not do.
And the daughter of Morris Pierce, who was killed by Austin police in 2010, saying her family has never recovered.
This is not the work of a single monster. This is not one moment of evil. This was the result of a justice system that actively hunted my father, harassed him, twisted facts to fit a narrative, and tried to force a confession to support a story they had already decided to tell.
The district attorney's office saying it was their turn to right their wrongs.
Today, it's our turn to accept responsibility and to use the truth to mitigate harm so we can help all involved heal and move forward.
The breakthrough coming decades after the murders. In 2025, investigators retested a spent cartridge casing found in the floor drain at the shop.
They got a hit to an unsolved murder in Lexington, Kentucky of Linda Rutledge.
That match led to another state, another lab, another murder. The suspect, Robert Eugene Brashers. This chart showing the cases he's known to have been involved in.
And did your investigation uncover any forensic or physical evidence connecting any of the 4 to the murders?
No.
Did your investigation uncover any evidence connecting the 4 to Robert Brashers in any way?
No.
And while the court cleared 4 men Thursday, Detective Jackson reminds everyone the story didn't start with them. It started with 4 young lives lost.
And let's not forget today, while we're here as well, 4 lives were lost tragically that night. And Eliza Thomas, Amy Ayers, Jennifer Harbison, and Sarah Harbison were brutally killed, and their families have been frozen in time for 34 years.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Travis County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly barbershop shooting involving an off-duty APD officer. Happened February 20th on Crystal Bend Drive near Howard Lane in Dessaw. Authorities say a man entered the barbershop and opened fire on those inside. A store employee was shot but managed to escape and get help. The off-duty officer returned fire at the suspect and killed him in the exchange. Officers don't have a motive. They haven't identified him or the officer involved. A grieving mother says the justice system is failing her family just months after 18-year-old Andrew Farias was killed at his own graduation party. His mom says the man accused of the murder has had his bond reduced twice. Meredith Aldis has that story.
I'm angry because my child doesn't get another chance at life, but the person who accused of taking my son's life, he gets that other chance.
A mother's anger and heartbreak. Shannon Vasquez says her 18-year-old son, Andrew Farias, was just getting started. He had just walked across the stage at San Marcos High School and was planning to go to Texas State and study construction engineering.
Andrew, to the day he passed, he said, "Mom, I'm going to make something of myself," and he was headed up the right road.
But that road ended just hours after his graduation celebration. The party of more than 100 people was at a home in Uland back in May. Court records say at around 1 a.m, the homeowner began asking people to leave. Investigators say a fight broke out between two girls, and when Farias' aunt tried to break it up, 18-year-old Chad Lee Gardner hit her in the head with a pistol. When Farias stepped in to confront him, police say Lee Gardner fired 2 shots. Farias was found dead in the lawn. Lee Gardner ran but was later arrested and charged with murder. His bond set at $1 million. But Vasquez says that number didn't stick.
I got a call from the victims coordinator, just kind of letting me know that Chad's bond was set at $1 million, and somewhere in between then and now, there was a bond reduction that I was never informed of.
She says it was reduced to $350,000 and then again to $200,000.
When you lower a bond for murder, it's not just about, him, it's about the family and what they're going through and the things that we have to deal with.
She says getting that call felt like losing her son all over again.
I feel like they're, taking my son's life and I guess degrading it, like it's just absolutely nothing.
She worries Lee Gardner will be able to post bond and be released.
He could be walking these streets again, and he has his piece, whether it's he comes out with restrictions on house arrest or an ankle monitor, he still gets to sit there and enjoy his life with his parents, sleep on a bed, and I'll never get that back. I'll never get that back with my baby.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Hayes County Sheriff's Office is still searching for a woman suspected of theft after unlawfully entering Kyle's Waterstone subdivision in January. We're told the suspect, described as a white woman, dark hair, last seen wearing a Michigan sweatshirt and black leggings. Suspect arrived and left in a black Ford pickup, right there on the screen, with black rims and a cooler in the bed. If you have any information on the case, you're asked to please contact the Hayes County Sheriff's Office. Federal jury is awarded nearly $1.7 million after finding Texas DPS racially discriminated against 2 state troopers. Here's Meredith Aldis with more.
A nearly $1.7 million verdict centered on claims of unequal treatment, retaliation, and a racially hostile work environment inside Texas DPS. The lawsuit was brought by Gerald Sams and Yari McPherson, both African-American troopers who say they were repeatedly passed over, discouraged, and punished because of their race. Sams filed suit back in 2020, alleging unlawful discrimination and retaliation after applying for a mounted patrol sergeant position.
He was a corporal and he was managing and running that entire unit. He led more than 400 details where troops were mounted on horses.
Mungo says Sams wrote the standard operating procedures for the Texas DPS mounted unit, yet was denied a promotion.
He was prevented from being promoted to sergeant over the mounted unit, although he was the absolute best qualified to do so.
The second plaintiff, McPherson, claims he was treated less favorably than white coworkers, receiving harsher evaluations, disciplinary action, and being denied an agency vehicle and a squad position that went to a lesser qualified white trooper.
He served in the Criminal Investigation Division and was denied transfers into a unit that was primarily responsible for doing what he was best trained to do.
The Austin jury awarded a combined more than $1.6 million.
When they are shortchanged, held back, unjustly criticized and punished, held to standards that no one else is held to, all because of characteristics that they have no ability to change, that they're not responsible for possessing. It attacks a person to the core of who they are, to the core of their soul.
Mungo says the verdict validates their claims that Texas DPS had a pattern or practice of racial discrimination.
I believe that we're going to be better served as a result of this particular verdict. because it has spoken very loudly and very clearly that the Texas Department of Public Safety does harbor within its agency a custom policy and practice of racism.
And he says Texas DPS doesn't stand alone. He says his analysis of other state agencies nationwide shows a pattern of institutional racism. He says he hopes this verdict forces change across the board.
If we can attack and dismantle institutional racism, Ms. Alders, it's going to have a spillover effect on disability bias, gender bias, nationality bias.
Sams has retired. McPherson is still with the department. Texas DPS says they do not discuss pending litigation. Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch.
Travis County District Attorney's Office has decided to retry the case against Austin police officer Daniel Sanchez. He's charged with deadly conduct for the 2022 shooting death of Raj Munsinga. Here's more from Meredith Aldis.
This is video from November 2022. This is Raj Munsinga outside his home in South Austin. Police receiving a call from a man across the street about Munsinga pointing a rifle down the street of the neighborhood. In this video, you can hear Munsinga shoot inside his home twice as police officers are pulling up. Austin police officer Daniel Sanchez then shot Munsinga 5 times. Back in November, the case went to trial to determine if Sanchez lawfully killed Munsinga.
Ask that you hold Officer Sanchez responsible for his conduct under the law.
Follow the law, and you find Daniel Sanchez not guilty.
After days of testimony and evidence presented, the jury went into deliberations. After 14 hours, they told the judge they were deadlocked. The judge declared a mistrial. The split was 7 not guilty, 5 guilty. The Travis County District Attorney's Office now deciding to retry the case on August 10th, saying in a statement, quote, "Our civil rights unit is prepared to proceed with a new trial and present evidence and facts surrounding the excessive force that led to Rajan Munsinga's death."
We're disappointed in the decision. We believe that the jury spoke volumes in this case and that the majority, the clear majority of the jury did not buy into DA Garza's position or his version of the events. So we believe that this is not only unjust, it's unfair to Officer Sanchez and his family who had to have, they've endured this persecution for the last few years.
Police outside of Dallas say a former high school student has been accused of taking photos using AI technology to create sexually explicit images. They say that suspect's a juvenile, so their identity has not been released. They withdrew from their high school in January. They were arrested earlier this month. District officials say police were called after a student claimed to have seen the pictures on someone's phone. Detectives continue to review digital evidence. State police and the Texas Rangers are also investigating. A North Texas figure skating coach who has coached some pretty high-profile skaters is now accused of child sex crimes. Fox's Dan Godwin has that story.
The person now in custody has coached some high-profile skaters in the past, including some who've competed on the international stage. Skating coach Benjamin Schroetz was arrested Tuesday night at his home in McKinney. The 47-year-old faces charges of indecency with a child and sexual assault. Allen police say this past Sunday, a report was filed alleging Schroetz had engaged in inappropriate relationships with 2 of his athletes, one of which began when the skater was a minor. Police would not share when the alleged incidents took place nor where, only stating that they occurred within the Allen city limits. Schroetz was arraigned on both charges and taken to the Collin County Detention Center. His bond set at $200,000. Schroetz, as we mentioned, has previously coached some highly accomplished figure skaters, including several years ago, Plano native Amber Glenn, who's currently competing in the Winter Olympics in Milan, Italy. Schroetz has been a longtime member of the Dallas Figure Skating Club, which is based in Allen. The organization's president saying in a statement, the safety and welfare of its skaters is a top priority. The statement went on to say parents concerned about their child's contact with Schroetz should get in touch with Allen police. The organization added that it does not hire, employ, nor supervise coaches. It said coaches who provide private instruction are independent, and all communication is between families and coaches. Outside the Allen Police Department, Dan Godwin, Fox 4 News.
Mayor of Hitchcock and dozens of others were recently arrested as part of an illegal gambling ring. The Galveston County Sheriff said he first tried to get the city to address the issue on its own, but after receiving multiple complaints about illegal gambling, the sheriff opened his own investigation. Hitchcock Mayor Christopher Armacost, who also serves as the assistant superintendent of Hitchcock ISD, was one of dozens arrested. He was charged with engaged in organized criminal activity. Court documents show he owns a washateria where 8-liners were found. An East Austin bar is thanking the public after it helped track down $25,000 worth of stolen equipment. What started as a costly setback quickly turned into a community-driven recovery. Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Jenna King.
Mixers, boards, speakers, stands, and obviously a lot of beer and seltzers.
A shocking discovery at the Austin Garden at In Cahoots on East 6th Street.
3 to 4 individuals kind of broke in with crowbars, things like that, and pried our fridges open and pried our equipment closets open, and they took a lot of our audio video gear.
The bar, event space, and hotel, known for its live music on its large patio, was hit just as it's wrapping up an expansion of its outdoor space.
We're a live music venue, first and foremost, so these speakers are main speakers on stages, main microphones that artists are using every night, mic stands. Obviously we make our money on liquor too, so these are core components to have fun and do what we want, and that was taken from us.
General Manager Alejandro Allen says the loss totaled upwards of $25,000. Earlier this month, the venue turned to social media for help, posting photos and details of the stolen items. Within days, a tip came in.
Somebody who was near a venue, who had just seen our social media post, tipped us off that he had just seen our equipment. It was very much in a pile in a new venue that was just opening up, and it was very clearly ours.
Allen said the equipment was being used at another venue hosting events. With the help of the community tip and the Austin police, the gear was identified and recovered.
We ended up getting a great police officer who cared and listened to our story. He ended up actually spending all night on the phone with me, reviewing the footage, and essentially expediting our case to a detective that he knew who works on a special team. And they were able to identify, connect with our information that you can only use because you're connected to it, and basically seize our equipment.
Allen says the community also stepped up, offering to loan equipment so the show could continue.
I don't think in any other major city could you have some speakers going and within a few days have them back. So we feel really, really fortunate that people cared enough and are connected enough to our artists and our stage to want to, support us.
Jenna King, Fox 7 Austin News.
Thanks for watching this Good Day Austin CrimeWatch digital exclusive. New CrimeWatch stories run each Monday on Fox 7 Austin News at 9. For more on the stories highlighted in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel. You can also stream all of our content with our Fox local apps. They're free to download and available for connected TV apps like Roku and Apple TV, as well as your mobile device.